Careening through the heavens is a being, an entity of unimaginable potential that is careening through the ether space, the umbral space, outer space, the very, very void itself. It is simply a rock covered in ice and momentum and energy as it starts to streak across this little solar impasse. It is at first well within the Oort cloud, a place of dust, of rock, of ice, and then careening further in, it starts to cross the gravitational paths of several large gas giants, enormous, full of absolutely all the mass imaginable, but not having a very, very solid core, past the rocky, icy impasses of the far off plutonium planets, the planetoids, crossing the rings of a particular gas giant that is blue in nature, crossing further, watching this giant guardian spirit, more like than planetoid, because it is not incredibly solid. It is all gas, all liquid through and fucking through. Crossing asteroids, little rocky bits, planetoids, and just space debris, astronomical objects that will never ever find themselves coalescing, but hang in limbo forevermore, being rocks in pieces, but being more than the sun themselves when you consider them a belt between the inner and the outer planetoids, careening far into now the much more inner space where the habitable zone of the planets go ahead and start to rise, passing that red fiery object in the sky that's not actually very fiery, but still very, very red and present within the sky. Passing again the habitable zone into the inhabitable zone, closer and closer to this very, very hot and fiery sun singeing, making sure all that ice and much of that rock is heated up. There is a long streak across the skies of all of these planets. The red hot one, the cool blue one full of all of that life, and even crossing that one that is just full of all those toxic greenhouse gases. Even there, you can plainly see the streak across the sky. And then just for a little bit, this little comet goes ahead and crosses the gravitational pull of one that spins even faster and closer to that grand star known as Sol. It goes ahead and crosses its path, takes a wild turn in direction, and the gravitational pull of the sun itself goes ahead and flings it far off in a wild trajectory away from Sol, away from Earth and Tellurium, into the far out Umbra, into the deep space. And from there, that little rock, that little comet, goes ahead and falls asleep, because its journey, it's going to be very, very long. But eventually, this deep space object, this satellite sent off into the ether, goes ahead and collides with something else. Something that is thinking, something that is feeling, something that is very, very much conscious. It might be several parsecs out of the way within an entirely different solar system, but eventually this comet and one Tomy Lovechild go ahead and collide in a very, very metaphysical sense, until this comet is now just having its brief little stroll around this one very, very blue star. Tell me, you've traveled quite a distance. What are you feeling?
Well, seeing as one moment she was in Shitnarnia, which to an extent was already very, very unfamiliar to her, to have suddenly been shot light years away, she is even more confused. The first thing that she does, of course, is call out to see if Eric can't hear her.
You call out, and when you call out, you don't call out into the air. You don't call out and make collision with all those air molecules that you're very, very familiar with. No, no. You call out and you touch the electromagnetic waves of the fucking universe. When you speak, the radiation waves from this particular sun move.
Tomi sort of looks around. She was expecting to hear a noise, but as she didn't, it's even more concerning to an extent. She looks at the sun and sees if she can't find a way to like swim or float or something a bit closer to it.
You find yourself on a very, very stuck path. In fact, you look to your left, to your right in the time stream, you find yourself orbiting this particular sun once or twice. Maybe this entire exchange lasts for a few hours before being flinged off further and further into the void.
She just shrugs. Well, that didn't work, and now she's floating through space with nobody to help. She she's definitely getting quite a bit more nervous as she'll just kind of like call out again, this time watching to see if the sun moves in any pattern she can recognize.
What do you call out?
Well, she's heard his name a few times in Shit Narnia, and there's been too many weird, totally not coincidences that happened, so she'll call out for Jericho.
Fair enough. You call out to that name. And when you do so, when you say the word Jericho, when you call out that name, several things goes ahead and happens. This sun gets a bit more stable. It was once a very, very small, nebulous, very new fate star. It grows in shape, it grows in size. It actually becomes a little bit more hospitable. The various debris and star stuff around you goes ahead and coalesces into different planetoids, actually very, very rough planetoids. This is a very, very new system. But every time you call out the word Jericho, 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 you're not met with his own voice, which would be rather comforting right now. But the solar system itself, this new solar system, gets a little more, well, cohesive.
Uh, she'll look around. Is there anything in particular she seems to be moving towards, or is she just kind of floating?
Right now, you're essentially floating, but throughout these eons that are starting to pass through in front of you, there is one point of light. There is one stationary object, well, stationary in that it orbits around this gigantic fucking thing. But there's one stationary object that just sort of goes ahead and floats. Is the one thing that remains very consistent every time you shout out the word and things change.
Well, might as well keep experimenting with that. It's not like screaming into the void is a bad thing to do.
You wish to keep shouting?
Yeah, sure.
What do you shout?
She'll try different ways to get something to communicate with her. She'll try to shout out like, "Hello, is anybody out there? Where am I?" And whatever questions sort of pop into her mind in that vein, like, what the hell is going on?
As soon as you get a little bit less assured of yourself, as soon as you start screaming questions more than things, the more unstable the system actually becomes. You notice that one of the bigger planets that used to be quite cohesive, it was a gas giant, yeah, but it was fairly cohesive. It starts to break apart for one reason or another. One of the asteroids from the Oort cloud went ahead and slammed right the fuck into it, and a lot of its material is starting to float into this little asteroid belt. And as it does so, as that little gravity well goes ahead and dissipates, a lot more of these asteroids from the asteroid belt start careening into the local inner planets.
Tomi, sort of immediately her attention is drawn by the destruction of a planet, and she brings her arm up to sort of keep debris from hitting her in the eye, and she just like watches things start to explode.
Do you find enjoyment in that, or is that something that brings horror or enjoyment? What?
Well, the first thought is that is cool as fuck. The second thought is it's very possible I could be hit with one of those, and that is not a pleasant thought. So, probably a mix of like the terror of space with like the awe of seeing this happen.
Excellent. Excellent. The various inner planets get not decimated, but definitely peppered by a lot of extraterrestrial material, and eventually the sun starts to grow. Starts to grow. The first planetoid disappears into it, and the second one does as well. And it's about this time, actually, that several different, very, very strange contraptions start to appear within the system. These are definitely not natural. Well, not stellarly natural, but it seems as if somebody is messing with the star itself and starting to manipulate it a little bit. You watch and you see that the star itself is being surrounded by hundreds and trillions of different artificial constructs. And towards the north and south pole of this stellar object, there is a great, great force of gravity that starts to get focused inward. And as it does so, the star goes ahead and changes shape from this sphere into this donut-like shape, actually. And all the different material that has been like slowly and utterly swirling around starts to get the attention of these artificial constructs, and they change. Everything changes, and a million trillion different things much like yourself start to enter the system and start changing it. In front of your eyes, you see entire biospheres go ahead and pop in and out of existence. Different material, immensely magnificent and large, start to appear in systems. Giant fucking bases also start to appear. It seems like somebody is colonizing this system for one reason or another.
Can she see what sort of things are colonizing?
Yes, you can. If you look closer at one particular station, you zoom in closer and closer and closer in on it. And you see in front of you the outside of a platform, a windowed platform. There seems to be one person, an individual person within this platform. And the more you look at it, the more you realize it's more a research station. And all of its different probes and antennas is pointed at one of these biospheres, literally a sphere of life. Not rock, nothing like that, just simply water, plant life, dirt, plant life, and a little bit of aqua life in it as well.
What do the research stations look like?
The research stations looks like something that you would grab from a sci-fi movie, actually. They are tall. In fact, the most prominent one is actually a station with a very, very base platform, but it looks like three huge towers were built atop of it, even though that doesn't make any sense in space, but they were built atop of it. And it's currently, from your extraordinary senses, monitoring the north and south platform stations. No, stellar energy platform stations.
Hmm. She'll pretty curiously sort of follow their gaze. Let's look at the south one first.
Okay, you look at the south one, the one that's providing the gravitational energy force into the donut star. It seems like all systems are operating at peak capacity. Never mind that one tiny, insignificant little anomaly.
Hmm. So, what does the life look like? Does it look anything like life on Earth?
Um, if you look at one of the biospheres, it definitely looks like something that would have been created on Earth. You see a lot of different earthly creatures, but you definitely see other things that are just out of imagination. It seems like each one of these creatures could feasibly exist, but not on Earth, not on the evolutionary track that has already been set in place. In fact, you see a giant fucking crocodile that swims in the oceans of this little biosphere.
Whoa. Um. Hmm. Does any of this life seem intelligent yet?
Nope. You go ahead and scan it, and none of it seems intelligent. Most of it seems animalistic.
What about all this technology monitoring it? Does it look like there are people arming it or like some other creature? Or is it just like tech on its
Absolutely. Absolutely. There is definitely intelligent life, intelligent human life on these vessels.
Hmm. Uh, yeah, gonna investigate the people. What do the people look like? Do they look recognizable?
Most of them do, in fact, look quite recognizable. Some of them seem, in very, very broad terms, scientists, doctors, engineers, Joe Schmoes. In fact, you're like scanning this entire three-prong base at the moment. From every walk of life, from every single viewpoint, these are people. Some of them happen to be astronauts. Some of them have to be astrologers, explorers, and some of them happen to be a little bit off. Some of them happen to be very, very identical to each other. Some of them happen to actually be half artificial, but still very, very human.
Hmm. What does it look like they're doing? Just researching?
Not only researching, but creating. You look at a few of them. the ones in suits that talk about grand plans, that go ahead and divide up projects to those lower than them, that also have grand plans. And from those grand plans, you have all of these different creatures, all of these different magnetic forces that fucking made the sun a donut. Wonderful works. And a word comes across your head: co-op. This is a co-op, or a COP, the Copernicus operating platform.
Yeah, Tomi is going to continue the like voyeurism of all these weird little people in space. This is like the coolest sci-fi show she's ever seen in her life.
Wonderful. Ever seen Aliens?
I have not actually.
Well, I suggest you go ahead and see it sometime, but the theme is as such. Giant astronomical sci-fi industry. Small absolute fucking horror. Because that's what's currently going through most of these people's brain pans at the moment. Absolute horror, but you don't know the place of it. You don't know why they're so fearful. And ever so sudden, the stations go dark. And the more they go dark, the more blind you become to them, the more fearful people become. It's not all of a sudden, but it definitely goes through stages. Most of the equipment remains up and operational. The stun is still a very much a donut. But you see Alpha, Beta, Charlie, Delta, Gamma, all those stations go dark. And when you try to scan them, there's nothing but screaming, there's nothing but darkness.
Huh. Can I see what might have caused all of the stations to shut down?
You definitely can. You look around. It seems as if there was a massive system failure at each one of these systems. And from the various logs that were left behind, extra dimensional entities.
Can I manipulate anything? Can she like move things?
What would you like to move?
Well, she doesn't know that she can move anything, so she's just gonna try to test it out by like, I don't know, lifting a bunch of like metal, like some scrap.
Okay, let's say you're looking at station beta at the moment. You want to go ahead and lift things away. Station beta was probably the junk section of this entire system, so every scrap piece of metal or garbage went to that. You go ahead and you exercise your will. And when you exercise your will, you take a bit of that junk and you lift it. You lift it and you look further into the station. What exactly are you looking for in the station? Living quarters, junk, research, laboratory, surveying equipment? What do you want?
Tommy will probably be looking for survivors first.
All right. You go ahead and look into the residential quarters of this station. Let's see. What do you find? You find empty bunks. You find empty bunks and the sign of a very brief struggle. You find signs of blood, wounds, sweat, exertion. Even psychically, you can start to feel that there was a fight here, a struggle for life and limb that was lost by the scientist here.
Is there any evidence that suggests what the extra dimensional entity might look like?
There is a psychic impression here, but mostly it is a fear. Most of it is of terror. That's what you got.
Hmm. She'll go deeper inside, see if she can't find any of the research or any notes they left behind.
All right. You find that Beta was mostly responsible for recycling junk material, and they were really getting into how in the fuck the world they would respirate carbon dioxide en masse into oxygen using biochemical filters. That was their main project at the moment. But besides that, you have several different logs by security personnel about EDEs, extra dimensional entities. And reading up on it, you realize that this was not really a main concern. They had ideas that this is a possibility, but it was always a theory. EDEs were something that you talked about, like when you were in the cafeteria and you wanted to scare your mates. Never really an actual possibility until about 2308 after the 13th sector day when it actually fucking happened. Right according to what every dark tale that you heard in the cafeteria would go into. The lights suddenly went out, there was no communication, and then there were monsters. Same case in every single one of the security notes.
She's definitely going to hold on to this information if she can and keep pushing forward. At this point, just kind of looking around for nothing in particular, but just to do like a thorough sweep of this particular sector.
All right. As you try to become more specific, the less cohesive things actually become. The narrower your vision becomes, the more you realize that you are standing parsecs and parsecs away. The more you realize that you are not a thing that flies off into the ether. You are a person, a individual who had a history and all the other good nonsense. You're not this cosmic fucking being running across the galaxy. You are well, Tommy Lovechild, very far away from home. And eventually, as you go ahead and come to more of these concrete feelings, these concrete ideas, your feet go ahead and land on metal on a very cold and quiet station.
She'll stumble a bit at first as she now has her body back, or at least she's now realizing she has it back, and she'll look around. Is she on the exit of this one or just inside of it?
You are just inside of it. If you wanted to look around, you can realize behind you is most of the escape pods. In front of you is different corridors, different sections of the ship. Excuse me, platform.
Okay, let's go check out the room with the escape pods.
Okay, you turn your ass around, you look at the escape pods, you notice that many of them are still within their shuttle bays, one which seems to have been discharged, and one seems to be actually hanging. It's on the standby status. In fact, there's a terminal in front of you that gives you the status every single stasis pod, about 8. One has been released and is free. One has been put as standby warning malfunction, and about 4 that are just simply standing there ready.
Can I see where the one that has been released went to?
You can definitely look at the logs. The logs go ahead and track this space pod as being intersected by Copernicus monotravel beta. You can see where it was launched. It traveled in space, was captured by another transport ship, and dashed away.
Okay. She'll leave this sector. And what is the next nearest one?
Oh boy. The next nearest one happens to be Charlie, about 1 astronomical unit away.
So it's too far away to reach?
Well, if you want to do some finagling, you could probably point an escape pod at it, or try to find another transport. Although, quick spoiler, there are no transport on this particular vessel platform. Excuse me.
Okay. I guess seeing as she can't walk quite that far, she'll turn back around and keep looking. She looked at escape pods. What other rooms are there?
Right. The other rooms happen to be the survey section of the station, and the command station of the section right off the bat. There is the medical bay, but when you look at the status of the medical bay, you find that it is unreachable, as in every single thing around you says unreachable. You try to find hangar bays and hallways and thresholds to the medical bay, just completely and utterly locked down. Quarantine actually flashes across your visor.
Okay. Let's check out the command room. See what's going on in there.
Right? You can definitely go ahead and take the shuttle elevator right up to the command room. When you do so, when you step off the shuttle elevator right to the command room, you notice that it is eerily silent. All throughout this particular excursion, when you found out that you had feet again, you've heard little sounds, little rustling, beeping, other things within the ductworks, other things that might have been skirting around, little small crackling of electricity. But the command module you find yourself in is utterly silent, but it has a magnificent fucking view stream of this very star in front of you on my screen.
Is the view screen interactive at all? Like, if she touches it, what happens?
You can definitely walk over and touch it. Imagine that this screen is about 10 feet by 20 feet on the other side of the room. There is one terminal that is free floating in the center of this room.
Okay. She'll walk over to the terminal and see what's on it.
On it, you have a slider that has a star date on it.
She'll reach her hand out and see if she can move the slider.
You can definitely do so. Moving the slider backwards allows you to see more activity, more development in the view screen in front of you, and you see that donut shape as well. Moving the slider forward towards more in the future or an increasing stargate, sees the star goes ahead and reasserts itself into this spherical shape. And for a very, very long time, there is no activity in the view screen. Artificial activity, I should say. No little space transports, no shuttles, no incoming messages, no logs, just pretty much dead air.
Is there anything else she can get to on the terminal besides the slider?
Let's see. For this particular station, you can find security logs. You can find actually there is a whole subserver, I should say, of just mail, like electronic mail. It is completely and utterly full, and every single message here is tagged with an address, a person's identification number, a person's name, to and from addresses, subjects, and a content body.
Oh yeah, Tomi's a shameless snoop. She's gonna read pretty much all of it, or as much as she can.
Well, my good ma'am, this starts from the beginning of the platform's history all the way until the activity goes ahead and ends. You find it yourself at your very, very fingertips entire sagas, epics, arcs, stories, um, transpondence, romantic, scientific, novel. You see flyers, you see different invitations, different social events, commentary, culture, just everything that was the life of this people on this platform is right at your fingertips.
Okay. She will she'll start with generally just reading what happened up until the end of the star system. But eventually, seeing as there's just so much here, she'll kind of move her finger like eeny, meeny, miny, and she'll just pick a random name and just see what their whole story was. Or at least what she can discover from their communication logs.
All right. Communication logs of James Graham. James Graham was an up and coming member of this fantastic union. He happened to be very, very well acquainted in biogenetics and was responsible for creating the subspecies of otter within the, well, biosphere 227. 227 was his baby for quite a while. He got, well, promoted up in rank and responsibility. And from what you can see, he had a little bit of a terse, well, a little bit of affair with another scientist that did not go as well as he wanted to. He was particularly heartbroken about that particular relationship falling on rocky shores. But from that relationship, he had a son who he did quite dote on. In fact, this little league game started to crop up as the scientists got older, and a new generation was actually born. People started thinking about the new generation of people that would live here and the Copernicus operating platform. Something that they didn't think about, but kind of grew out of this extended operation. And you see him doting on his son. You see him trying to reconcile with his lover somewhat well, at least well enough to have a very cooperative relationship in the son's upbringing. And you notice that James Graham's particular correspondence ends about 20 years before the station actually goes dark. And his son, Jimmy Graham, continues on the work right after him.
Okay. She'll, as his correspondence draws to a close, she'll look at his son's logs too.
His son's begins and ultimately ends too abruptly. 1 year of active service as a full-fledged adult of the Copernicus operating platform, and it unfortunately ends. There is one entry, one communication to security that simply says, "Oh dear God, help! They are coming through the door."
Oh, Tomi frowns. That's pretty damn sad. But she'll leave the terminal for a minute. What rooms are unexplored that she can get to? In fact, can she find a maintenance duct that can get her to where it's quarantined?
Abso-fucking-lutely. Here's the
Oh yeah.
thing. If you go ahead and you look around behind that view screen, kick the fucking panel open. There's a maintenance shaft that you can crawl into and start to crawl anywhere you want on this fucking ship.
She's going to head towards the med bay, all the while sort of thinking to herself that this is a really bad idea. But she doesn't stop going. She's like,
At,
yeah, sure. I haven't seen Final Destination or anything. Or Event Horizon, I mean.
as you start to have these various thoughts about that pop culture icons you have not seen that you probably should see, yeah, this maintenance shop is not a safe place to be. It's quite treacherous. Loose wire hangs everywhere. Various pipes have gone ahead and broken. Tubes have also gone ahead and deteriorated and started to leak. There is chemical, there is steam, and there is electric shock everywhere. If you're not careful, which unfortunately enough, I do not believe that Tomi is careful enough. I think she is smart enough to see the hazards, but not careful enough to actually give a rat's ass about it.
Yeah, she's not very careful, but she has good reflexes. So she has that going for her.
Spark, spark across your face, duck. You eventually reach down. A little bit worse for the wear. You think to yourself you're going to need to get checked out for those various heat bruises that you're currently experiencing. But you find yourself in a corridor attached to the medical bay.
Is the door to the medical bay open? Or is there like a window she can peek in through?
There is definitely a window that she can peek in through. Uh, that particular door has been hard sealed, which is interesting because all the rest have been soft sealed. This one is hard sealed. But in this particular bay, which is actually a surgical room that has been hard sealed, there is a window for professional viewing. Do you look through the window?
Oh yeah.
Through the window, you see a lot that's pretty damn horrible. You see bodies that have been piled up in very, very heavy and thick plastic black bags. But there's one specimen that's currently on the table that, from different angles, looks like human, looks very much like a person. But as you look at different extremities, different attachment, different appendages, it doesn't look human at all. It looks like very, very much insectoid. And you look at the blades that are protruding from its chest. That thing looks like it's fucking terrible. That thing looks like it could cause a lot of damage, destroy a lot of people and things. Is this an EDD?
Oh, Tomi sure does want the answer to that question. Is there any feasible way into that room?
Nope, unfortunately not.
Tomi is going to reach a finger up to the window and just
You tap on the window, trying desperately to get something or somebody's attention, but nope. There is nothing but dead air on the other side of that door.
Tomi looks frustrated. But okay. Uh, does this corridor end at the med bay, or is there more to it?
There is a little bit more to it, actually. And from the far end of this corridor, you hear something. You hear something that's actually moving.
Oh shit. She'll look around. Is there any way she can get where the movement's coming from?
Okay. You are standing in a corridor. In front of you is the window to the surgical bay. The corridor goes ahead and starts to curve around into nothingness, and the movement, the sound of shit being knocked over is around the curve of this corridor. And you can see from the signs ahead of you that that happens to be a simple doctor's examination room.
You said these were extra-dimensional entities. Mumi's gonna try to activate Spirit Sight.
You may, in fact, do so.
Her focus is not with her. She was not expecting it, but it's only a sight. I think that's one success.
Definitely one success. You extend your perceptions beyond the physical into the spiritual. And what you in fact see is while most of this construct is very, very much physical, very much in plain sight, you see overlaid upon it nothing, a void. But further on than that, the reflection of this world onto this void is there, but it is full of holes, full of easily exploited holes. And in fact, when you look back into the window, you can see that that figure that's currently on the table that has those extra appendages is masked with it. It's as if it's part of this invisible world.
Okay. She's going to keep this active and go check out the doctor's quarters.
You most certainly can. You continue walking. And do you remember that feeling that you had in the elevator as you were going up the Woolworth building with this karate jackass that you only met the first time with the radio alarm clock?
Yeah.
You start to feel that. Do you continue on or do you back off?
She'll examine the room. Well, she'll examine like the area around her, and this weird feeling, almost sort of like the creeping darkness. At first, she looks like she's just gonna like step back and run away back to like the light, back to the safe parts. But when she first awakened, the first thing her avatar told her was to stop being such a goddamn pussy. Not in so many words, but she'll decide not to be afraid of the dark. She'll keep going inside.
The lights go ahead and start to blink out around you and behind you. The alarming sounds, rustling, clanging, gets louder and louder and louder. In front of you, there is only the outline of the door in very much neon. And the name that is on this door that has been sketched on it and highlighted in neon glowing paint has been etched away to unrecognizability, but it is simply still there, and it is there as a threshold. You have only to push and slide open the door to find your way through.
And she will definitely do that. She will slide the door open, and first she'll look around and see if anything seems to be moving in here before stepping inside.
Go ahead and touch the door, slide it on open. In front of you is not but darkness. There is definitely movement here, but the more you And the more you listen to it, the more you realize it's footsteps. Footsteps that seem to be pacing back and forth, a scuffling of feet, actually. But it is mostly complete in utter darkness, besides the neon lights at the threshold of this door.
So she'll creep a bit closer, see if she can't find a desk with maybe a computer or records or something on it.
Do you step through the threshold?
Yes, yes, she does.
When you step through the threshold, behind you, the neon lights go out. You're very much returned to that state of being where you are rocketing across the universe, actually. This brief stint, this unfortunately brief stint into physical reality has now been cut short as you walk through this particular threshold. But eventually, the length of time being a being of the void, being a non-person, is very much shorter than your rocket ride, comet ride through the galaxy. You find yourself again on 2 feet. It may be a little bit disjointing, seeing that you are briefly a person without 2 feet and then back on 2 feet. But you definitely find yourself in a very expansive, not going to say room, but expanse, a warehouse. A warehouse with a floor that is completely and utterly of glass, reflecting all the light around you. No, not reflecting all the light around you, reflecting and allowing you to see past the floor. You know that it's solid. You're tapping your foot on it, whatever designer boot you have to be wearing. But in front of you is, as this portrait goes ahead and describes, a very big blue bright object. You are in this very disjointed room. What are we thinking? What are we feeling? What are we doing?
Seeing as all it took was her entering the room to cause all of this weird shit to happen, she's probably getting the idea that maybe she should be more careful, but as established over and over again, she's not a careful person. She's gonna try to get a bit closer to this glowing blue light, try to get a better look at it.
You walk towards the end of this platform, actually. And the platform goes ahead and stops. There's no guardrail. There's simply where the platform of glass goes ahead and stops. And beyond it is where you would guess a projection of this image to be. Because it's obviously not real. I mean, you cycle through most of your sites just on precaution, find that maybe you're not really in space right now. I mean, you have 2 feet, which is interesting enough. Every time you've traveled into space without 2 feet, it's been an interesting experience. But you have 2 feet, you're rooted right here on this glass platform. So obviously, that's got to be an illusion, right?
Sure. So, what do all the sites tell me about it? Is it real?
No, it is not real. It is an elaborate, actually, an elaborate projection of a star, a, a blue star, very hot, very small, but definitely matching the parameters of the system that you were in. Just not a donut.
Well, Here, investigate this a bit more. Is there any way for the computer? Can she find what's projecting it or how it works?
You can look around, and from what you can tell, this has to be a platform set in an open air hangar, because you're obviously standing on something. Beyond you is the projection. You start to look around, and you notice that there's very, very, very small, subtle projectors on the four sides of this room.
Hmm. So you're telling me that it looks like this whole room is an illusion?
The floor is real. The star is an illusion. It's a projection. Around you, the vastness of space is also a projection, but the floor is definitely real, as well as a small terminal that's been following you around asking, hey, would you like to sign in?
Tomi'll turn around, having just noticed the terminal that has followed her like a lost puppy. Sure, I'll sign in.
Here's your name.
Tomi pauses. She looks very skeptical at the little thing. Tomi.
You recognize that each time you press a keypad, one of the keys on this keypad, the you know the logins that goes ahead and gives you that black blip with every character you enter.
Mhm.
Yeah, there are black bits there, but they're not whole. In fact, they kind of look like the omega symbol with each character you go ahead and press.
She's not gonna give it her last name though. She just like hits enter.
You go ahead and hit enter, and the screen goes ahead and says, "Hello, Tomi. How have you been? It's been a long time. I missed you."
She sort of furrows her brow at it. What do you mean you missed me? She'll like furiously type this into the keypad.
Tomi, that you imagine that there's a little text box and little messenger box that's currently being displayed on the screen, and you see that anonymous is typing right at the bottom, and the return message is simply, "It's been uh, it's been a few months. Um, I, I typing. How you been? How is everybody?"
I'm good. Dot 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 dot. Like she types in like a million periods after that. Who's this?
Uh, typing, backslash, backslash, enter. It's me.
Uh, J? Question mark.
Rapid response. Yeah, Jay.
You're communicating to me through a computer now? LOL. Ass.
Lots of typing. I'm working on it. Lots of typing. Did you get my message?
Which message? 23 question marks.
Lots of typing. I alarm clock.
That was you?
Yes, that was me. Quick response.
I'm sorry I threw you in the garbage.
It did that. Rapid response. You threw me into the garbage. Wow.
I didn't know it was you.
Rapid typing, rapid typing, rapid typing. And then I get picked up by this monk, rapid typing, rapid typing, rapid typing, who is a nervous fucking wreck. Rapid typing, rapid typing, rapid typing. Who goes ahead and carries my message all the way back to you. Rapid typing, rapid typing, rapid typing. Did you enjoy the garden?
Yeah, it was really pretty. I met your tree friend.
Rapid typing. Awesome. Good. She was a good host, or at least a good guest. Like what? Blah 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 blah. She was a good host. Made sure that you were taken care of.
Yeah, she seemed. It took her a while for Eric to warm up to her, but she was sweet. I promised to bring her a book.
Oh, please don't tell me you promised her things. She usually gets a little bit upset when you forget about it.
I won't forget.
What did you promise her? Because I'm not sure that you'll be able to come back here anytime soon.
I told her I'd get her a copy of The Lion, the Witch, and the Wardrobe.
Oh, excellent. I think that there is a portable document of that somewhere within these data systems.
Cool. So, why are you a computer? Where the hell have you been? I mean, besides in a computer.
Rapid typing, rapid typing, rapid typing. I'm not in the computer, I'm using the computer.
Where are you?
Enter, enter. It's hard to explain. I really, really wish that this character extended on to the 2000 character limit, but I'll try. You know what? Fuck it. I want to try to come there in person. It might take me a while, so yeah, just continue correspondence with me here.
Tomi, sends him at least 5 separate messages with, :D, 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 :D.
You're really excited to see me back.
Of course I am.
Go ahead and give me a. Go ahead.
Oh, there's a really long pause followed by I missed you.
Really long pause. I missed you too. Still thinking back to the last time that we were together, and thinking back to all the other times previous that. What have you done?
She shrugs. I'm the head of a chantry now.
Instantly, you notice that the projections go ahead and change quite a bit. The sun goes ahead and disappears, and the block that the Woolworth building goes ahead and sits on is now just like floating there in three-dimensional space, and it's currently like rotating a bit.
Tomi nods. Yeah, I had an apprentice, maybe 2. Yeah. Oh, she pauses for a minute. Did you see what we were doing with the old Verbena place?
Tell me about it in your own words. Explain it to me as if I didn't see. I want to hear your words. In fact, you know what? Screw it. The little audio device, or at least the little audio outlet in this particular messenger system, goes ahead and pops up, and from the terminal, there's this little microphone that goes ahead and snakes his way out.
You get tired of my typing style already?
I love your typing style. I just would love to hear your voice more.
Well, I don't know. It's kind of silly, but the last thing you one of the last things you were saying when we were there was that you really wanted a garden. I mean, now I feel like a dumbass because you have a big garden with living tree people in it, but I built a greenhouse there. Uh, my apprentice is working on making a garden. He's researching some weird tree, like it bears like a billion different types of fruit.
Oh yeah, made famous by a American scientist, right?
Uh, I don't know anything about it. Maybe.
That's good. That's wonderful. I can't wait to see it. What is this apprentice that you're telling me about?
Oh, his name's Ulrich. Well, his real name's Aaron, but I brought him into the Hollow Ones and he picked a new name, so now it's Ulrich.
Oh yeah, I remember that fellow, red hair, wanted to go ahead and blow apart shit Narnia.
Yeah. Yeah, he's a Hollow One now.
Hmm, excellent. Lender you, I presume, right?
Yeah, he took the love child name. I'm hella flattered.
Oh shit, 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 shit. Again, various messages of shit, shit, shit.
What?
Memory is bad. Where are you in the love child lineage?
Uh, the whole family tree? Well, Rupert, as far as I know, was the head, and now he's gone, so I guess I'm the head?
Excellent. Sorry, sometimes I have problems with time scales here, but I'm glad to see that the love child line is extending far away from the founder. How do you feel about having an apprentice?
Uh, it's weird.
You have any idea what you're doing?
Um, she she looks like she's about to argue if he can even see through the computer, but after the pause, not really, no.
I remember, and the messenger screen goes ahead and fades out, and what you're left with is a thin line that goes ahead and vibrates. Two thin lines, actually. One blue, one red. When you speak, the red wire goes ahead and vibrates. But a voice that you are familiar with, Jericho, goes ahead and vibrates the blue one. I remember. I remember the. I remember when I had Jade actually come up to me and say, "Hey, do you want to be my mentor?" And I remember that was one of the scariest moments in my entire career.
Right? I don't know whether I helped him become a mage or if I fucked him up irreparably for the rest of his life.
Don't worry. I mean, even if you made a mistake, he'll correct it on his own if he's any mage worthwhile.
I hope so. He's about to be really mad at me, though.
I'm sorry. Why is he doing that?
Um, she looks back at the replica of the Woolworth building. Um, is there a way that she can use a mixture of time and forces to show him what happened?
If you have the memory of it, absolutely.
Oh, yeah.
What memory do you wish to show?
Um, So that scene that Trent ran, she's going to show him the helicopter arriving and the man in the blue suit. And
Okay.
the deal.
The projections go ahead and switch views from the Woolworth building right to the platform with all the different actors. The helicopter, the accountant, Tommy, Maggie, Eric, who was there along for the ride, smoking a cigarette, talking about immaterialism and all that other nonchalant, and the extensive conversation between the traditions and the technocrats. And throughout all this little bit of display, the blue line doesn't move whatsoever until like the very end of it, where it just says, "Huh." Stuck between a rock and a hard place, I take it.
She shrugs. Is it like a time mage thing to always be stuck in the past? Because I'm feeling that so hard right now.
Don't worry. Any one of us, awakened or human, is going to go ahead and dwell on the actions of the past. I've done it more times than I can count, thinking of all the stupid mistakes that I may have made. What are you regretting about this whole thing? Because as far as I can tell, like I said, you were between a rock and a hard place and trying to thread a needle with a camel hair.
Well, those aren't the kind of people we're supposed to make deals with, are they?
Hmm. Let me go ahead and give you my own interaction with those people. The viewfinder goes ahead and splits. On one half is the conversation between Tommy and the accountant. On the other half happens to be Jericho and a very, very young-looking man. And that conversation goes about the very, very much comedic route. It starts with, and do you know safety protocol 23? Jericho looks at this young man in a very, very well-to-do suit and simply says, I have no idea. Eventually, the scene goes ahead and opens up to a hangar bay full of these technological marvels and weapons, energy sources, and the like. Jericho and this person who identifies himself as Operator 5 have a long, extended conversation. Jericho over the terminal goes ahead and says, I've had a few dealings with the technocrats before, some of which weren't absolutely fucking hostile. This one have to be Operator 5, who was amenable. I mean, we were both going after the same jackass, or same group of jackasses, and he was willing to outfit us. Um, I don't know this man you call the accountant. I don't know him, but take every single person from the other side with the same degree of suspicion and caution that you would do anybody from any organization you know absolutely nothing about. Were you more concerned about making a deal with the technocrats or making a deal with this one particular person?
I I mean, I thought they were like some weird Illuminati monolith, so it was just another mouthpiece for him, wasn't it?
Hmm. Let's go ahead and view another instance. Another third vision goes ahead and flashes across the scene of a typical man in black with sunglasses, making absolute vague threats and, well, pretty much damning Christmas that particular year. And Jericho going ahead and screaming at him, no, no, we can stop this, we can stop this, and completely being stone-faced. And Jericho over the terminal goes ahead and says, take any individual at their own value. I've met technocrats that would want to shoot me on sight. I've met technocrats that wanted to talk. I've talked to technocrats that know of the outer reaches of space, and I've talked to technocrats that only wanted to go ahead and imprison you in a room, interrogate you for all the information, and liquidize you. As far as I can tell, on the other side, there's all different types. I can't give you like one clear, clean idea about how to deal with them.
Huh. She just shakes her head.
What have you been told about the technocrats?
All I know is that for some reason they hate us. Or apparently they don't hate us according to the fucking accountant, but I don't know how much I trust what he has to say.
Let's see. What does he have over your heads?
He's trying to take the chantry from us.
Do you want to keep it?
Yeah.
This deal that you made up, what are the contents of it?
Well, like, I made him write it up in a contract because I didn't trust his ass.
Hmm?
But basically, he'd give me. They'd stop trying to repossess the building. He'd mark it as something the technocracy wasn't interested in anymore and go away forever. Well, not forever, but you know, if we don't fuck with him, he won't fuck with us type deal.
Mm-hmm.
And in return, I have to go to the cyber realm and kill a dragon?
Interesting. Do you trust the accountant's words that he'll actually, honor this particular arrangement?
I don't know. That's why I made him write up a contract, because, like, I don't know, it seemed like something that they would be more likely to heed than just, like, a handshake and a spit on the palm.
You're right to do that. Several traditions also have the idea of a contract that is binding not only to the people who made the contract, but to the universe itself. It's like a giant fucking law in the universe. As soon as you made it a contract, as soon as you went ahead and set it on terms, that's what made it real. So if you believe in the strength of the contract, then you can believe in this accountant's words.
She nods. I guess that makes sense.
On the flip side, are you capable of doing what the contract asks of you?
I don't know. Part of the contract, he agreed to arm us so that we wouldn't be just walking in there like naked babies in the woods. He gave us a bunch of money, and it was like weird, magical infused money. Like there was quint in it.
Huh. Interesting. Do you know where that energy money came from?
No idea. They're non-sequential bills though, so that's good.
Okay. If they're non-sequential bills, then perhaps he took it from several different sources in order to obfuscate its actual, where it was actually harvested from. Maybe he was doing you a favor, or maybe he was highlighting you to several different factions within his own.
That's kind of the risk I'm taking by making this deal, isn't it?
Yep.
Yep.
At least you were smart enough to make a contract.
I figured it was a better idea than force blasting him off the roof of the building and getting all of them on my ass.
Hold on a second. The two other visions beside the Woolworth balcony go ahead and get pushed to the side, and a simulation of Tommy and Maggie going ahead and both force blasting the accountant off the Woolworth building goes ahead and gets displayed. Fiery accountant falls off the Woolworth building, and two gun stations actually pop out of the black helicopter and start firing both randomly, leading on to a very intense firefight between the mages, the traditions, and the technocrats, leading to half the Woolworth being destroyed.
Tommy nods. Good to know I made the right choice there.
Not so sure. That would have been an interesting story to tell.
It also might have gotten my friends killed.
Fair enough. Now, I'll Lark. That's his name, right?
Yeah,
He trusts you, right?
she nods. Yeah.
What do you expect his reaction to be once you go ahead and break this news to him?
All he really knows about the technocracy is what I told him, as far as I know. It'll probably sound like I'm making a deal with the devil.
Understood. Does he trust that whatever deal that you would make would be in all of y'all's best interest?
I hope so.
That might be tested. This place, this place of power, you're the head of it, right?
Yeah,
Are you the figurehead or are you the actual head?
both, sort of. I try to keep things close to equal because I don't like the idea of commanding people, but, you know, it's my place. I'm just trying to protect it and the people that live there. What use is a chantry if it's not a safe place to be?
Second screen goes ahead and starts to show up. It's actually the homestead of the Amahara Chantry, back in the old days. You notice that there's a very much fresh face Jericho being followed by a girl that you know as Jade, and another Indian man to go ahead and say for the least following him. Him going ahead and turning the key and opening up. And through the terminal, you hear the voice of Jericho go ahead and say, "Yeah, I can recognize that feeling. It's one of the reasons I started my own place up."
Yeah, so I don't know what to do about it. I mean,
Unfortunately, go ahead.
the monk that went into the garden with me, he warned me that, you know, materialism is the quickest way to be destroyed, but I don't know if it's really that unreasonable to want to protect your friends in your home. At least that's what I think I'm doing.
Unfortunately, you have been set up. This place, the Woolworth building, it is well known. I had the luxury of picking a place that was not well known, that it had its own place of power. You were shafted. You got a place that was well known and well connected in the consciousness of man, and apparently the eyes of the technocrats, but without the means to go ahead and protect it. I feel sorry for you. This will be a long journey, and I feel that you have already made strides to go ahead and protect it. In fact, I see these protections. It's just that now it's a little bit more, unfortunately, political for you too, for y'all.
They told me Rupert was a technocrat.
What do you believe about that?
I mean, all the evidence lines up. The accountant said he used to be his partner. The fucking computer that tells me when people walk into the building marks them as reality deviants. All of his magic had to do with tech stuff. I don't know. I don't
You
know
don't?
how I feel knowing that.
Okay, you don't know how you feel. When Rupert came to you, he was a Hollow One. He was a criminal. Not only that, he was a romantic criminal, wasn't he?
Yeah, of course.
He embodied everything it was to be a criminal. He went ahead and even took the Robin Hood mystique upon him. Well, in the leather jacket and the katana, but he definitely was a romantic fucking through and through. Can't you say that he was a Hollow One?
Of course. There was no way he wasn't a Hollow One.
His origins are different from your own, but everybody comes to the Hollow Path from different places.
Yeah, I guess you're right. He died a Hollow One.
Now remember that. You remember the eulogy I gave for him?
Yeah, yeah.
Take that with you whenever you think about him. Doesn't matter where he came from. Matters how he came to die, what he ended up as. This whole shit with the accountant and all that other nonsense, that's just his legacy that he left for you. He left for you this building. He left for you these people you got to deal with. But I can guarantee you, and this is not with any foresight or hindsight, that if you get through this, if you go ahead and shake off these assholes by dealing with them, talking with them, or blowing them the fuck up, that building will be yours. That place will be yours. That will be a place for the Hollow Ones.
Tommy will nod. Yeah, I hope so. I picked up another orphan.
You did.
Yeah. She told me she didn't have a place to live. She didn't know anything about being a mage. So I gave her a room at the chantry and she drank all my alcohol.
Who is this one?
I don't know much about her. Her name's Nomi.
Look, until you know her enough to trust her, keep a watchful eye on her.
Yeah. If Maggie's not bullshitting me, apparently she tried to stab her.
Oh, crap. You feel a chill go through your brain span for a quick second? Shit. I'm sorry about that.
She looks around. What was that?
That did, I apologize for that. You got me a little bit curious about Maggie.
Oh, what about her?
When you thought about her, there was a flash in your head. Something that was conflicting. Cognitive dissonance.
What do you mean?
I don't know. Last time that I saw Maggie, she was free floating into the darkness, actually.
Into the darkness?
From what I can tell, she had been cut to ribbons and something was riding her. I saw that much. I went ahead and threw her a line and pulled her back to where she had left from. But that thing that was riding her continued to ride her when she got back.
Yeah, I took her back to the, what is it? I think it's a bookstore out of character.
Yep, it is an occult bookstore.
I took her back to the bookstore, and the Kavati helped me exercise whatever was on her. She's doing better. She joined them, so I guess she's not really a free spirit anymore.
Last time I saw her, she was not well off, so that's the only thing that I could really tell from my perch here. All of a sudden on the terminal, the two voice boxes are still up in operation, still vibrating, but then there's a progress bar that goes ahead and reaches 10% on the onset and starts to build, but slower and slower.
So, what is going on here? Like,
Oh,
what have you been doing since you flew up into the sky and disappeared?
oh, let's see. Um, when I got here, there is not but darkness. Cliche, I know, but I got to see the system go ahead and form along with its neighboring system, Copernicus 1. I'm Copernicus 2 station right now. That's Copernicus 2 right off the viewfinder screen, at least the screensaver. Let me go ahead and show you this. Screen goes ahead and turns around again and again and again, showing the solar system again, and he goes ahead and focuses on one particular planet, one that's molten, one that's hot, one that is within the habitable zone. And he goes ahead and starts to change things just a tiny little bit. You notice on the big overhead there is a time scale with a little indicator that flies across the screen. I've been doing a little bit of this. This is my little pet project for the moment. I found myself in the heavens and decided to see what I could do in the heavens. On the planet, you can see the tectonic plates go ahead and start to settle down. And you can see that various formations are starting to take place. Liquid water rains down from the skies, from clouds. And within all these oceans that start to form, there is a bubbling. On one side of the screen, the ocean gets magnified several times over until you find yourself at the macroscopic scale. And the voice of Jericho goes ahead and says, these are prototypes. Prototypes of a bit of life that I found here. No, excuse me, not found. Faded here.
So, you actually did become a god, huh?
I'm a creator.
She nods. Did it turn out like you wanted it to, or did you just like put parts there and things happened? Basically, what I'm asking is intelligent design a legit idea? She grins.
I went ahead and this was my biggest project since I left. to try to make this happen. And it did happen. Further down the time scale, you see that there is one mass extinction and another mass extinction. I can't stop that. Lots of very, very small life forms goes ahead and dies. That's very frustrating, but it keeps happening. That just means I have to go back to the drawing board over and over and over again. And I find that when I don't really think about it, it just works a lot better, but takes a longer bit of time.
Huh. Damn, and I thought my greenhouse was impressive.
It is impressive.
Compared to creating life?
Tell me, with your hands, you have created more wonders and more happiness within me than I could ever do myself.
She smiles. Eventually there will be a tree in there.
You notice that there is a very interesting presence around you, as if there is arms cradling you, but no visible entity there.
She'll definitely enjoy it for a while. So, do you have an end goal, or is it just like experimenting?
Right now, I'm kind of experimenting. I got no hard, hard, hard goal. Just to see what I can do. See if there's any way back.
What do you mean back?
Hmm,
You want to come back to Earth?
yeah. Don't know how, but I want to.
Well, you know where to find me when you do.
Yeah, yeah, I do. The view screen goes ahead and again starts to flash forward a little bit towards all these little small bacterial life starts to get multi-cellular into amoebas, predators, killers. Photosynthesis starts to takes place. Algae goes ahead and grows over of the all the oceans, and then eventually, on the coastline of this very, very alien planet, green starts to appear.
Tommy will lean in like close. What's this?
This is the start of a biosphere, an actual real biosphere. Everything was underneath the oceans for a very, very long time, but spores have started to cover the coastline, and hopefully, real plant life, vernacular plant life starts to take hold. I need stems, I need roots, I need trunks, I need fern trees. That's what I really want, because then I can start scrubbing the atmosphere for other life. So that oxygen can actually get into the system.
So you're doing like oxygen based? You know, you could do like Alien versus Predator and have like silicone based things.
Sci-fi silicone is way, way, way too heavy a energy carrier molecule.
Fair enough. I almost flunked chemistry in high school, so I'll take your word for it.
You notice that the invisible presence goes ahead and shakes you left to right quite briefly. Silly Billy.
So, here's a question. What if you make something as intelligent as us? Like people? What if you make something that can awaken and start fucking with your world all at once?
Let's see, let's see, let's see. If I get to that level, if I can do that. The intelligence that would follow from that, I cannot predict at the moment. I could try to go ahead and view it, to try to observe it, but I'm pretty sure that people with universes, or at least intelligent life with universes of perceptions all to their own, it's pretty inconceivable, or at least incomprehensible from my perspective.
Well, she sort of shrugs. It happened once, right?
If you believe a creator went ahead and created our world to such a point that it developed intelligence life to a life that could go ahead and awaken, yeah, sure.
I mean, I'm not even gonna pretend I know what happened, but there's a whole tradition that thinks that's what happened. Maybe they're right. Maybe the world is a giant machine piloted by a Shiba Inu.
Do you think that?
It would be an interesting plot twist.
There is magic and foresight far beyond my capabilities, or at least far beyond my ability to relate to you. I'm trying to figure out how to give you the understanding of a reptilian brain at the moment, but I just can't do it.
A reptilian brain.
Yeah, look at this. Through the view screen, you see that very, very small bits of life has started to sprout out. These things look like tiny, tiny, tiny amoebas, and even so far as to shrimp that start to prey upon the other creatures and start to take in sustenance from the algae, actually.
Hey, it's doing something.
Yep, definitely doing something. Crap. Fuck, 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 fuck. Um, the slider goes ahead and finds itself at sort of the breaking point of the time scale and that giant time scale in front of you. And that little pointer goes ahead and stops quite fucking abruptly. And all the advancement that's currently going on before you also goes ahead and stops. Everything is in real time. It stopped advancing so very, very far into the future as you hear over the terminal and the blue voice synchronizer goes ahead and screams, "God fucking damn it!"
What happened? Did they go extinct again?
I not yeah, they're gonna go extinct in a few 100 years. Yeah, it's just I can't advance forward quite yet. There's too many variables. Too many variables.
Yeah, I guess with like a universe that's like infinity variables, isn't it?
Yep. Hold on a second. Where do you want to be right now?
I don't know. She shrugs.
Okay, let me go ahead and go through these. Say again?
Remember the rooftop where we had our first date?
Yeah?
Let's go there.
Okay. This projection, this room, this warehouse, these flat, very, 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 very platform glasswork goes ahead and starts to change quite drastically before your eyes. Before your eyes, the world goes ahead and changes. Light flashes, energy flashes. All wonderful forms of matter go ahead and change quite abruptly, quite utterly, until you are standing on the roof of this building that you went ahead and ran towards. That this elevator ride was very, very extended and long because Jericho fucked something up, where you went ahead and saw the spirit world for one brief second, and where, well, Respect went ahead and played on the radio. In fact, it's doing that right now. In front of you, well, there is the blanket, there is the seat, there is the radio, there is the bitter wine right there, should you want to go ahead and grab it. And there is the tuna salad sandwiches in that little picnic basket as well.
Well, you recreated it like perfectly.
Thank you. I took a little bit from you and I took a little bit from myself. Which is why the sky is a lot more darker and a lot more red than I remember.
She looks up. Maybe. I mean, there was a time that we lit the entire sky up with red. Maybe that's what you're picking up.
Yeah, I'll definitely give you that much. Go, sit, enjoy. I'll be there in like 5 minutes. I promise. Expect a knock at the door.
Okay. And, yeah, she will sit down, sort of look over the cityscape, enjoy the sandwich. She, of course, will wait for him before opening the wine because she knows how much he loves wine. Or loved wine when he had a corporeal body with which to enjoy it.
Simply sit there, don't do much of nothing.
Yeah, sort of hang out, reminisce a little.
What memories are you going through then?
Mostly the kind of funny awkwardness that was their first actual date. Uh, the elevator ride, the time that they had dinner with a bunch of mages and Jericho literally tried to steal her from Rupert. That's probably one she stays on for a while.
Remember when Jericho went ahead and fell on his ass?
Yes, yes, she does. She even remembers seeing him jammed into a high chair that they couldn't get him out of without destroying the thing.
There's a knock on the door.
Tommy will open the door.
Behind the door, you see the familiar face of Jericho. It looks quite well weathered with a bigger beard than you remember him with.
Tommy will immediately just grab him and hug him.
He'll definitely go ahead and reciprocate. Go ahead and lift you off your heels for a quick second.
And yeah, she will stay there for quite a while. Hey, I missed you.
Yeah, yeah. Looks at you, and he's looking at you not with the familiar eyes that you went ahead and knew him towards the end of a relationship, but more with the awkward, unsure eyes that he began this particular date with.
You know you had me convinced I'd never see you again, right?
I'm sorry.
Just shrug. Eh, you didn't know, right? I mean, I don't know how you prepare for all the fuck that happened to you.
Jericho then shrugs, still trying to piece it together. I remember everything up until that moment. A lot of other things went ahead and happened. But yeah, you went ahead and answered the fucking alarm clock, and here we are.
Yeah, I think the monk got pretty attached to it. I'm pretty sure it's alive.
I'd suggest going ahead and keeping that alarm clock wherever it happened to end up. I might use that again.
Right. Not in the garbage again.
Dirk goes ahead and gives you a very, very mischievous, very, very wide smile before going ahead and putting his forehead to yours, actually. It's real. It's there. That's very much skin. That's very much flesh. From far as you can tell, that's no projection.
She definitely hasn't stepped away. She is going to cling to him like a baby gorilla for as long as possible. So, Shit Narnia is still your pet project?
So to do, I have my different like strings in shit Narnia. It's been going mostly on autopilot for a very long time, expecting somebody else to go ahead and pick up the pieces.
Yeah, the kid's still interested into it. Still interested in it. I figure as long as it's not like a howling hellscape, I'll let him work his magic.
Let him. He'll go ahead and find himself in there, wherever he happens to be.
Yeah.
Jericho's hand will go ahead and sneak into yours and go ahead and start walking more to the picnic proper. You know, it's been a freaking age since I had a tuna salad sandwich or anything like sandwichy.
You can't just conjure yourself up a sandwich? Like, just. Yeah. She shrugs. You could make creatures that evolve into living sandwiches, and then you'll just have all the sandwiches you want.
But that wouldn't necessarily be real, would it?
Nah. I don't know.
No.
Sandwich creatures.
No. You gotta think about it like this. One person observing one event, does that make it real? I mean, if a bear shits in the woods and nobody's around to see it, does it in fact happen?
Yeah.
Really? Who is to say that it actually happens?
Well, I figure hours or months down the line, some hiker will come by and step in the shit.
Okay. That makes him another observer on that particular event.
The bear watched itself shit.
Yeah, but that's very much a first party observation. It's only until a second or third party goes ahead and observes the same fucking thing that it actually becomes reality. At that point, it's just reality of the fucking bear. What does the bear know?
So for you to really enjoy a sandwich, I have to watch you eat it.
You have to be here to enjoy it, yes.
Okay. I guess that makes sense. But what about me alone in my kitchen eating a sandwich. Like, I knew that I ate that sandwich. The ingredients are all gone from my fridge. But nobody watched me eat it.
Who's to say that those ingredients weren't simply conjured up by yourself, and the feeling of satisfaction and continued equilibrium within your own body is not simply your own conjuring?
Yeah, but if I lock myself in my bedroom with a bunch of sandwiches and eat all of them, I will still get fat.
You will believe yourself to get fat, you'll become fat, and when a third or a second party observer sees you get fat, because then taps your tummy, then it becomes real.
So I'm not fat until somebody sees it.
Exactly.
Keep that in mind.
Jericho's going to go ahead and sit on that very, very plaid pattern blanket. Listen to radio for a few seconds before go ahead and grabbing a sandwich and eating to himself. Go like, that's so good.
And while he enjoys the sandwich, Tommy will go ahead and pop a corkscrew into the wine and open it for him. And she'll eat her own sandwich. Yeah, just like I remembered it.
Wonderful. How did you spend your New Year's?
Well, for Christmas, Maggie bought me, her, and Logan these inflatable T-Rex suits.
Oh boy.
And we kind of terrorized most of Lower Manhattan.
Terrorized, you say?
Yeah, and then I got my dinosaur suit stuck in the car door, and it hit a tree, and it popped, and we had to go home.
That's so sad. I'm so sure that you would have been an absolute terror if not for that one pop.
Yeah, I mean, we were all really drunk and dressed as dinosaurs. I think at one point somebody called the cops, maybe. It's all kind of fuzzy because I was entering a blackout, but, you know.
How are they doing? Logan and Maggie. Last time I saw them, well, I was in several different places all at the same time, all around them.
Even inside them.
Absolutely inside them.
Nice. They're good. I keep trying to get Maggie to kick her dumb drug habit, but she won't. And I don't know what to do about it. But she seems to be better, at least, like, I don't know, emotionally.
Oh, that's good. What's your drug habit like? How is it affecting your life?
I'm not really sure. The only thing I accomplished by like trying to get her sober was that now she won't talk to me about it. But when we talked to the technocrats afterwards, she smoked something in the bathroom and came back high as a kite.
That must have been stressful for her, right?
Yeah. I think she's self-medicating. The other mage hanging out at our chantry is also self-medicating and is apparently very stabby. So, I don't know.
Well, how does this make you feel seeing Maggie go through those same steps over and over again?
I mean, the last time she went through those same steps and like binged on it, she died and then came back with a demon on her. If I'm just worried that'll happen again. Or she won't come back at all.
How does that make you feel?
It freaks me out. She's my best friend.
A little bit of nod from Jericho on that one. His left hand goes out and starts to rub your shoulder. I'm sorry for that.
Just lean over. I don't know. I hope it'll get better.
Feel sort of helpless because you can't stop it.
Yeah, I don't know. I wound up head of this chantry. I made a real cabal. It seems like it's going pretty good, but I don't know if I can like save them from their own decisions. And that freaks me out. Like sort of learning how to mind control somebody. I don't know.
Let's see. I learned a little bit in my time looking over a few different people at my chantry when I started out. There was my brother from Euthanatoy, there was Jade, and then there was this intern that followed us around. I sold two of them. My brother from the wheel and Jade going some very, very stupid and dark paths. I saw it. I tried to mentor them down the way, try to make sure they didn't make absolutely terrible decisions. But I realized early on that I knew the kind of story that they would have, and I just sort of stood there and was at least as helpful as I possibly could be. There were some things that I could absolutely stop in its fucking tracks. I mean, dear Lord, I got these two princesses, and this is going to be a little bit of a story. So imagine you're me, the only spirit master within this whole goddamn chantry, and you've had several fucking invasions into your own personal space by this one jackass nightmare spirit that your two apprentices are currently freaking out about. They're saying, "Oh no, it invades our dreams," or "Oh no, we can't fight this damn thing." And I just simply look at them. I'm rubbing my temples because this is not the first time I've heard about it, but the first time I've actually been able to react to it. Go ahead and grab Jade and say, "Okay, we're gonna fix your nightmare thing." I drag her to her own writing desk. I make her a talisman that'll make sure that her brain is secure, or if she is attacked again, she'll have the equipment to fight against the nightmare, and I set it as a dream catcher on her own bedpost. I see Azazel, my Indian brother, go ahead and freak out how in the world we're going to attack this thing. I grab one of his knives and I say, "We're going to kill it with this." I go ahead and grab one of his knives and bless it to ever-loving fuck to be the exact weapon that we will kill the nightmare with. And so after that, I went ahead and think, I've had fucking enough of this. I've already attacked this nightmare spirit just the once. So you know what? I'm going to bring it to me, and I'm going to banish it completely and utterly. I go out to the House of the Green Glades. I go ahead and make this fucking massive summoning circle. Bring the nightmare spirit to me. You know what happens? It wasn't even me. It wasn't even Jade. It's fucking... Actually, it was Jade. But it was Jade using the knife that I blasted. Eventually went ahead and cut that fucker's throat completely out and had him spill all of his essence onto the floor and banish him completely and utterly, finally. So, I gotta tell you this. Being the head of your own chantry, being the most powerful mage there, you'll simply have moments or you'll see your two apprentices or three apprentices or whatever following their own paths that might lead to terrible ends. But there are some moments where you can bring them together and pull them through their own fucking shit. It's not all powerless. Sometimes you will have moments where you can be their hero. You can pull them out.
She nods. I don't know if I'm strong enough to, though. Like, I'm not a powerful spirit master or anything. I'm not really a powerful anything master. I'm okay at a lot of things, and that's about it.
To be completely utterly honest, I was kind of okay with a lot of things when it happened. It's not about your power. You could be the most powerful fucking magi in the entire world. It's all about how you present yourself. At that point in time, people looked at me because I stood on my own 2 feet and I thought I had a plan. I went ahead and rode that pony as far as I freaking could because I guarantee you, pointing at Tommy, if people think you've got a plan, they will follow you through hell. I've literally dragged people through fucking hell because they thought I had a plan.
But if I don't have a plan and I say I do, I could get people killed.
That's, I'm not going to say that that's not a possibility, but tell me I believe in you.
Thanks.
Whatever this big thing is that you got to go ahead and tackle to make sure that your home is safe, I'm confident that you can pull through. In fact, if you want me to, I probably have already done it once or twice. I can go ahead and faith you that you actually do make this happen.
That's cool. I don't know if I want to take the easy way for it, though. I mean, I don't know. I feel like the way to get it done right and to make sure that they're safe is to go through all the hard shit. Because then at least I've experienced it, right?
Mm-hmm.
Plus, I don't know. She shrugs. People with easy lives don't tend to have all the skills that you need in hard times. I knew that growing up.
Tell me a bit about it. A bit about, your life growing up.
Uh, she shrugs. I don't know. I was in the middle of a big, shitty city with the only family I had being a bunch of other kids that nobody wanted.
I remember and I saw that. I'm sorry, in your head, those memories are currently playing out. I can top that if you want me to.
That's okay. I don't really have anything to hide.
Okay. If you want to, you can look at the side of that rooftop and you can see those memories played out.
She'll look. Yeah, I mean, we had a shit go of it. Every time something even sort of went wrong, we got the shit kicked out of us by our teachers. But we were good at surviving. We got shit done. And I don't know. I used to be jealous of the kids that had like families and all their money and all that. But I don't know. I think I'm stronger because of it.
You're much stronger. I guarantee you every single hardship and hurdle that you've ever had in your life was all to build you up to those moments so that you would have the skills and the assets and the fucking friends to see you through the rest of it. I don't need any hindsight, foresight, fate sight to see that.
I hope so.
I know so.
Weird fucking friends.
Tell me about your weird and cookie friends.
Well, only 3 of them are human, so that's good.
Nice little variety.
Most of them are like us. You know, all the people from New York who are like us. Some of them turn into animals, and some of them are dead. Shrug.
You see his face goes ahead and scrunch up when you describe people who shapeshift and or are in fact dead.
Jib looks at him. What?
Very, very judging face goes through his. There's a very, very judging face on his own.
Infinite cosmic knowledge, and you still hate werewolves.
Werewolves are. They have their own set of priorities, but it's the vampires I hate.
I was told they can be saved.
Where did you get that information from?
A werewolf.
Who the hell is that werewolf to say that those leeches can be saved?
Logan.
With the knot, right?
She turns a little red. I think they all might have that. It might be a never mind.
I've seen a few of them. Their physiology, none quite like that bat shape shifting wolf thing.
Apparently, that's what happens when 2 of them get together.
I'll take that at face value.
But apparently, there's a way for them to balance out.
Is it something like worthwhile? Is it something long and arduous?
Definitely both. But I don't. The hard part is, I don't know if they want to be saved. And that's the shitty part. Especially with Maggie. Like, I know they can be saved, but can you save someone against their will?
No, you can't save somebody unless they really, really want it. It's just like looking at Maggie and saying, I want to keep you away from the habit. And if she doesn't want to, she's not going to. I'm sorry. You know that. It's hard. Did you know that?
Not even if I learn how to Jedi mind trick people?
Well, if you Jedi mind trick people and you go ahead and change their wants and their needs, is that really the same person?
No, I guess not.
Don't get me wrong. Keep that trick in the back of your pocket if you really, really want to do that.
No, it wouldn't be right, would it? I mean, taking away free will doesn't sound right.
Let's see. Well, then you're going to go ahead and get into ethics about a criminal and whether or not a criminal can be reformed. And if you have to use mind magic to go ahead and change their personality on a fundamental level, can you really say they have been reformed, or have your mind magic gone ahead and fucked them so hard they're no longer the same person?
I have no idea. If somebody went into my brain and turned me into a different person, even if it were to help me, I would be pissed. So, I mean, I guess I wouldn't be pissed because I wouldn't know to be pissed, because maybe they programmed me to be thankful. but she just shakes her head. I'm not good at philosophy. Every mage but me seems to be good at philosophy, but I'm not.
Gazettin shrugs. Maybe you're not called to be a philosopher, maybe you're called on to be a leader. There are many magi out there, both powerful and small. I think they have the universe gone ahead and sorted out. And most of them will go ahead and stick into their small little hovels. But hey, if you got a place that you want to go ahead and protect, and if you need to go ahead and get in conflict with the other worlds out there, and if you need to go ahead and shepherd a lot of people, guess what? A lot of different skill sets are going to be required of you than this the guy in the fucking library.
Yeah, I guess you're right. I mean, at the very least, I can say I've had experience with the stuff I'm trying to help with.
What stuff are you currently most hard on at the moment?
Do you want me to put your clean clothes on your suitcase?
I don't know. I guess the best I can do is make sure the people in my chantry are safe and able to realize, I don't know, whatever dream of theirs will lead them to be like you.
Long pause, goes ahead and follows after that. Very extended long pause. There is a sipping of wine and the munching of sandwiches, but not really a lot of words that come from Jericho at the moment.
I don't know. Just keep them safe and alive enough for them to go down their own path. As much as I want to pick their path for them, I know I can't. And I know it'd be shitty of me to try.
Bingo.
Hmm?
Every single path to ascension is individual, unique, lonely.
Yeah.
I really wish that it was a communal thing. I really wish that it was a path that you can bring people on, but ultimately you gotta go when you gotta go, and you gotta go alone. You were held very, very tightly after that particular soliloquy.
Well, you're not alone now.
True enough. How how is the Amahara? How is Jade? How is the intern?
Jade got married. The last I saw her, she's been good, but I haven't heard from her in a few days. I don't know why. I haven't heard from Daniel either. It's kind of freaking me out.
Freaking out for any particular reason? Do you think like they're just busy, or do you think that they're dealing with some heavy shit?
Maybe both. I mean, usually me and Jade at least like text or talk on Facebook, but it's just been silent.
Okay. Okay. I might look into that one a little bit later.
Yeah, maybe toss her a fate line to come and talk to me again. Or at least be okay.
Because then, as I said, and the intern?
She pauses. I think there's some sketchy shit going on with him.
What makes you say that?
He was really in denial when I told him you left. He seemed pretty shaken up about it. And on top of that, he came to talk to me, and then he stole my memory of him for a day. And when the technocrats came to visit, they were looking for him.
Shit.
Yeah.
He's got his own history with the technocrats on the other side. Not as amiable as mine has been.
Yeah, it sounds like it.
Let's see. Intern. Wait. There goes and stops for a single second. Goes into his back pocket, actually. Produces a wallet. And then from that wallet, he goes ahead and takes out a very dirty Polaroid picture. He goes ahead and looks at it for a few seconds. Shows it to you. It's apparently the intern. And the intern is in front of a lot of different fucking television screens. Does this make any sense to you?
Television screens. Not really. I mean, I don't know. I mean, he's the tech guy, isn't he? So maybe it does.
Maybe ask him about it. Goes ahead and pull Polaroid back up. It's back into his wallet, into his back pocket.
Yeah, I'll do that.
Brain parasites still been a thing?
Brain parasites?
Yeah, brain parasites.
I'm pretty sure they still exist.
No, yeah, they probably still exist, but they've been fucking with you or anybody you know?
Well, ever since Maggie's girlfriend died, I haven't heard anything from them, thankfully. Edwin told me a little bit about them.
Maggie's girlfriend died. This is the first time I heard about this one.
Yeah, a while back. I think she was one of them, but I don't know for sure.
Master Edwin, knowing, but yeah, he's got that particular heritage to him. That sort of makes some sense. Above head, the black helicopter, this time not so very silent, and having a very big flashy light goes ahead and starts to travel from one side of the sky to the other, actually. It's not threatening, not getting anywhere close, not yelling at anybody. It doesn't seem threatening. There's no hostile intent in it. But when the floodlight goes ahead and flashes over you, it flashes your back, and from the back, two shadows sort of go ahead and cross the picnic basket and the picnic blanket. You are sitting. To the left is Tommy, and to the right is Jericho. And the shadows that go ahead and pass you happen to have Jericho on the left side, and the form of Tommy on the right side. Seems as if you guys have had your shadows in the wrong places. The different forms being cast from a different form.
She looks over at them, then back at Jericho. Did you steal my shadow?
Goes ahead and shrugs. Maybe.
Because it hasn't been with me since you left.
Well, I can tell you that this thing, going ahead and pointing at that shadow, hasn't left me.
She smiles. That's sweet. I guess you're stuck with me forever. She grins. ascension or not.
Goes ahead and shrugs. Maybe. Couldn't this just be a weird cosmic twist of fate?
Or something like that. Yeah.
Would you rather prefer?
I like having yours around.
Alright. Hold on 1 second. Derek is going to go ahead and clear part of the picnic basket away, and the picnic blanket as well. Okay, do you still have your life sight up? He says.
I haven't learned life yet. I know you told me to a few times, but
I'm on the other side of the freaking universe, and dropping the ball here. Tell me you're dropping the ball.
hey, I have to learn so much stuff. Like, it's so hard to have a chantry and little mages to look after. It feels like I have to know everything just to keep them, just in case, you know? Just in case.
You know what? You go ahead and do what you do to make sure that they're all safe, and everything will go ahead and fall from that. Do me a favor.
Yeah.
It's wonderful that you're keeping this place up and running, and I want you to keep doing that for as long as you find it edifying to yourself, all right?
Yeah, of course.
Good. Make sure you do. Make sure it is edifying. I mean, is there like one thing that's like off? I don't know. Try to work it out.
Yeah, I'll try to.
I don't know what I'm saying right now. Okay. I wish for you the best. Does that make sense?
Yeah, it does.
Awesome. From Jericho's pocket, he goes ahead and produces some some sunglasses. Offers them to you.
She'll take them. What's this? I mean, besides a pair of sunglasses.
Those are the odd mix sunglasses that I usually use when I want to give somebody else a different sight.
Oh, okay. She'll put them on.
You go ahead and put them on, and well, simple, very, very simple rote of life. Around you, most of these things is unliving, inorganic, whatever you want to go ahead and describe it. And in front of you, and well, within your own form, happens to be a very, very vivid life sign. Very, very hot, very, very much with a heart pumping and pounding, muscles straining, eyes and sweat going ahead and pouring on through. Very visceral.
She'll look around. Huh.
Jericho's gonna go ahead and hold you by the shoulders, start to lay you down in the blanket.
She'll allow him. She'll sort of plop down, staring at him, of course, with the life goggles, because it's nice to get to see his life signs again.
He'll go ahead and start to tower over you and then lean, over you as well. It's been been a while.
Yeah, it has.
I can definitely tell you that the action in the game in the extraterrestrial reaches in the universe is a lot slimmer than you would think.
I don't know, that crocodile looked pretty sexy. She grins.
That may be the case, but there is no little green women or blue women out there in the universe for you to go ahead and find. Star Trek lied to me.
You can always make them. You know, after a couple thousand years of fucking around.
I could, but I miss you too much.
I missed you too. And if you want, you can turn me blue.
You find yourself with your life signs sort of slightly changed, actually. Actually, no, screw that. Let's get more descriptive with this. Jericho goes ahead and takes his right hand. He goes ahead and touches your cheek. Goes ahead and touches your neck as well. And goes ahead and trails his fingertips, well, down your shoulder, your chest, all the way up your arm. And you notice when you're, like, following his fingertips, there is a smear of blue skin that follows him.
She laughs because she was joking, but she digs it, being blue and all. She shakes her head and sort of pulls him into a kiss. I missed you, asshole.
Definitely return it. Definitely lift you up from the ground. We'll definitely go ahead and hold that kiss. Lips locked for quite a long time. You're pretty much sucking his face as he's sucking your face. Eventually, the kiss goes ahead and breaks off. You notice that, his beard is starting to tickle you a little bit more. You're not used to the beard. The beard is a new addition. Kind of weird. It tickles your cheek, tickles your neck. And the more you go ahead and allow Jericho to indulge, the less coherent or cohesive the experience actually begins. That tickling of his beard goes ahead and starts to flake off. His fingertips, all of you begin to riddle away. You find yourself fading further out and out and out. The presence is definitely there, very tightly clinging to yours. And for, well, a brief second, there is a connection there. But as close as it connects, as visceral as it happens to be, as momentous it could possibly be, you find yourself floating underneath the expanse of the universe, going through all these different physical, visceral experiences, and slowly and utterly fading away from Jericho.
Oh.
Still very tingly in all the special bits.
And once again, she misses him.
As Tomi goes ahead and fades away. What is Tomi thinking, feeling, doing?
Well, she is fading away once again at the mercy of this sort of cosmic galaxy that she didn't understand in the first place and continues not to. Feeling Aw, fuck. It's sort of a bittersweet type deal. And she goes through several different levels of sort of trying to process the whole thing. But in the end, a little more sure of herself and really fucking happy to have seen Jericho again.
Alright then. You do not find yourself in the laboratory, you do not find yourself with, well, the one monk. You do not find yourself back at the needle shop. You find yourself back into the elevator that you escorted Eric into right before you went ahead and took this bizarre little adventure. You find Eric is not there, but when you eventually reach your floor, it goes ahead and opens up to the suite that you know and love.
And she'll go in, at first sort of exploring as if she's not sure if she's really back yet. But after a while, she realizes that, goddamn, she's exhausted. And she's probably gonna pass out on the couch.
Alright then. As we go ahead and end this scene, thank you watchers for watching, thank you players for playing. We will see you all next time. And next time that Tomi wakes up, there is a loud electronic screeching of eh, 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 eh.